Lemonada.
Want to listen to your favorite Lemonada shows without the ads? Subscribe to Lemonada Premium on Apple Podcast. For just $5.99, you'll get ad-free episodes and exclusive bonus content from shows like this one, Squeezed, as well as Wiser Than Me with Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Fail Better with David Duchovny, and so many more. It's a great way to support the work we do and treat yourself to a smoother, uninterrupted listening experience. Just head to any Lemonada show feed on Apple Podcasts and hit subscribe. Make life suck less with fewer ads with Lemonada Premium.
Dad?
Yeah.
Do you not recognize me at all?
Who's that?
Me. Can you look at me? Do you not recognize me at all?
No.
No?
No.
You don't know my name?
No, what is your name?
Stephanie.
This was the first time Steph's dad, Ellison, didn't recognize her.
I'm your daughter. You're my daddy. Yep. And I love you. Very much.
By this point, Ellison had been in hospice for almost 2 months. He had Parkinson's, so while his body and physical movement had been declining for some time, Steph said he always had his mind. Forgetting who she was had not been part of the deal until that moment.
End of life is such a trip.
Steph talked about it on Instagram the following day. She was home, so you can hear the dryer running in the background.
Yesterday, my dad literally looked at me and did not know who I was. Had no idea. It's like wild and very dissonant when someone usually looks at you a certain way, which is just the way that they look at you. And then when they lose their mind and they look at you like a stranger, you realize that the way they used to look at you was with love. Like, that's how your parents look at you. That's how you look at your children, with love. Seeing vacancy in a parent's eyes is so weird.
The next day, though, Ellison remembered again. He looked right at Steph and said her name. He knew she was his daughter.
Now you forgot me.
Well, you're very, very hard to forget.
I know, but you did.
I didn't.
You did. I'm glad you remember me now. It was so sad.
In this video, Steph is sitting on Ellison's bed, which is tilted up. They're face to face. She rubs his chest and pats it gently, then strokes his cheek.
I love you. I love you.
I love you too.
This relief, after such profound sadness, is a roller coaster of emotions. Some good days, some bad days, and this up and down is just part of it. This is what happens at the end. From Lemonada Media, this is Squeezed. I'm your host, Yvette Nicole Brown. Welcome to Season 2, where I get to speak with caregivers across the country like me and you or future you about the powerful and also very normal moments we experience every day while caring for our loved ones. As some of you might remember, we opened the first season of Squeeze with a conversation between Steph and I, talking about caregiving for our dads.
Parkinson's is a
Same with dementia, baby. Same with dementia.
It is. I hate it.
Steph co-founded Lemonada Media and hosted the popular show Last Day about all the sad stuff that brings us together. She's currently working on her second book that's all about the opioid crisis. When we last chatted, Steph's dad was in an assisted living facility so close to her home she could wave at it. And my dad, Omar, who has Alzheimer's, was living at home with me. Now, more than a year later, my dad is in hospice at a full-time care facility, and Steph's dad, Ellison, is gone. Sadly, that's how caregiving goes. So for this first episode of Season 2, we're coming back together, me and Steph, to talk about this very crucial part of caregiving, end of life. What it was like as she and her family watched Ellison slowly slip away, and how no amount of planning can prepare you for the moment your loved one passes.
Hi.
Hi, Steph.
Hi, sweetie pie. How are
girl.
you?
How are you is the question. Girl.
Oh, my God. You're gorgeous.
So, listen, I don't look like what I've been through.
It's not, well.
Let's just say that. Let's say that.
What's the line from Stone Magnolias? Honey, I don't know how you're feeling on the inside, but your hair's holding up just fine.
Absolutely. Seeing Steph again felt like seeing an old friend after a long time. You feel giddy, and the conversation just flows. But a few moments later, we got right into it.
My kids started school this morning, Yvette. I was packing the lunches and making the eggs and making sure the hair was okay and walking them to school. And you have to keep going in this way that doesn't allow you to stop and process, the tremendous loss. And I think it's going to probably be tough to talk to you because I haven't had a minute to sit and think and talk and so how am I doing today? I'm fine because I'm fine every day because I'm busy.
Because you have to be, right?
And I got kids to raise and I got a business to run.
Ellison died June 10th. Steph and I talked remotely less than 2 months later in early August. Behind her was a box of Ellison's old T-shirts.
I'm going to make a quilt.
Yes,
of,
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All of his... It's all like antisocial T-shirts.
I love it. Yes.
I've been social distancing for years.
Yes.
In dog years, I'm dead.
Yes.
Things like that.
That was Ellison's type of humor. He was not one to shy away from the darkness.
My dad would joke about wanting to be taken out for years. He would be like this with his arms across his chest. And my mom would go, "What are you doing?" "I'm practicing." Like he was in a casket. I mean, he was so dark and he was so funny.
Steph and her dad were tight. She went to him for advice and they just talked and talked about everything. For many years, Steph sometimes recorded him.
I have so much tape of him over the years and everyone. And he was my favorite person ever to interview.
Yeah.
Because his depth is like boundless. He says so little, but he says so much.
Yeah.
And he's so wise. And I think that's a lot of what was most difficult for me towards the end, that he just says less and less.
Yeah.
And he gets more and more disoriented. And my dad had a physical decline that was really unforgiving and relentless. Parkinson's is...
Yeah.
I think I said last time is a mother.
It's a mother.
And I stand by it.
Yeah.
But he always had his mind.
Yeah.
So when his mind started going, that was when I think it got really painful.
There's so much about our journeys that mirror. My dad, because he has dementia, so his body was fine. I mean, the regular decline of late 70s, 80-year-old person. His body was fine, but his brain was going. And you had the flip where the brain was there. So it's like the cruelty of it for me, because dementia is also a the cruelty of it is it takes the brilliance and the magic and the sparkle and the shine of our heroes. Yeah. And the body is still there. But the thing that made them the thing.
Oh my God.
Is just slowly diminishing in front of you. And it's just... Yeah.
And their journeys, though different, are the same. That's what always blows my mind about all this, is how similar people's experiences are in these moments. And I mean, like, when you were talking about your dad, I was recalling this vacant stare.
The vacant stare. And you know they're not there.
It's chilling.
It is.
And no one told me about that. And nobody was like, okay, here's what's going to happen. Their eyes are going to be empty and they're going to be looking at nothing. And they're not going to be looking at you and not seeing you at all. And they're not going to remember your kids' names and they're not going to remember where they are. And I mean, I just, it's merciless. It's inhumane.
It's inhumane.
And I just wasn't prepared for that.
I wish I had prepared you more, because I foolishly believed that because he had Parkinson's and not dementia, that you would miss that part of it. Dementia, from the time they get the diagnosis, Steph, every day is that. You have nothing else you can do but prepare for it to go in that way, because every day bits of their mind and their personality are slipping away. I didn't tell you because I didn't want it for you. You know what I mean? It's hard enough to watch a body decline. To watch a brilliant mind decline in front of you for years is devastating.
I mean, I only had to deal with that part for 3 months, and let me tell you, I can't imagine 4 years. I cannot. It is brutal.
Yeah. It is brutal. My dad was diagnosed with Alzheimer's more than a decade ago. He lived with me, and I was his full-time caregiver for about 11 and a half years, as he slowly lost everything that made him him. He's pretty much nonverbal now. He'll say words, but they don't really make any sense. He very rarely recognizes me anymore. So I know deeply the pain Steph felt when she was met with a vacant stare. The only way I can explain that vacant stare is this. My dad is there, but he's no longer there. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Steph talks about one of the hardest decisions a caregiver can make.
He just lifelessly went flat on the ground. I mean, the cart came in. My mom was there. It was so scary.
That's after the break. My dad's been in hospice care for about a year. Every time I go to see him, it feels like the last time I will see him. And I know that one of those visits will actually be the last time. Still, it feels impossible to prepare yourself. I wanted to know if Steph had any advice. Did you have moments where you're like, okay, this is happening, so how do I do this? And how did that journey start for you? How did you mentally get yourself and your family ready for this?
It's one of those things that the decline was so slow, and then the end happened all at once.
Yeah.
So I foolishly, like most, I would say, thought hospice means you're done.
Yeah.
You're out.
A lot of people think that hospice is unto death. And there are many times that it feels that way, because a lot of people go to hospice right before they do pass away.
That's right.
But hospice is just another form of care
where
it's more comfort care than prevention and intervention. Right. Mm-hmm. It's where you can choose to place yourself when or your loved one when the prognosis is such that they will not beat this. This is what it's going to be. So you try to give them a soft and comfortable place to transition. Steph talked about how she and her family decided Ellison should go into hospice, a decision that was not intuitive. You see, for a while, Ellison had been in and out of the hospital, frequently enough that his family had gotten used to the routine of checking him in and checking him out. The most recent and last time he was in the hospital was for an infection. The plan was for him to, as always, leave the hospital. But as he was going through the steps of being released,
he buckled. They tried to get him out of the bed, and he just lifelessly went flat on the ground. They code blue. I mean, the cart came in. My mom was there. It was so scary. She was like, I've never seen anything like that in real life. It felt like a movie. I was horrified. And they got him back in the bed. They were like, okay, you're obviously not leaving the hospital right now. We thought he had had a stroke or something had happened, because he just was really absent and confused and not part of this planet, in a different place. What we would say, like, you're not here. You're floating out in outer space. And then the palliative nurse came in and said, you have an option here. You have the option of doing hospice. And we were like, what is it? What does that even mean? We were like, he's not dying. He goes in and out of the hospital a lot. He has Parkinson's, so, Yeah. And she said, no, I know. But if you do not want to keep doing this,
they will come to you.
We can come to you.
We will come to you.
And she explained What I did not know about hospice, I will remember this. We were in the hospital room. My dad was in there. We said, come talk to us with him here. Mm-hmm. He was awake, which was important to us. And I said, well, what does it mean? Explain to me what happens when you go into hospice. And she said, well, you're not going to bring him to the hospital. Mm-hmm. We're not going to be giving him all of his blood pressure meds, all of his diabetes meds. He was on so many meds. Yeah. All of his Parkinson's meds. I mean, so many meds that gave him side effects that made things worse. It was like the meds were also a problem. Yep. They were like, we're going to get all that out of there. And we are going to go to him. We're going to get him a new hospital bed. We're going to get him oxygen if he needs it. We're going to get him every single thing that he needs. We're going to come to him multiple times a week. I said, how long? She said, well, the average person is on hospice for 6 months. It could be 3 months. It could be 12 months. Yeah. It could be 3 years.
Could be.
She said, as long as they need us, we will come.
Yep.
And it is just a different kind of intervention where we are allowing the body to do what it needs to do and knows to do.
That part. If there is one thing I want this episode to do, besides hopefully be a safe space for you to cry it out if you need to in your grieving and your mourning, for people to understand the gift of hospice and what it truly is, if that's what they walk away with, that is amazing. Hospice has been the gift for my dad because just you describing having to take him from the boarding care to the hospital over and over, that would be, he can't handle it. His little body can't handle it.
He literally couldn't handle it. I mean, just getting him into the car for us took Mike, my mom. My mom was having to arrange for the public transit to come pick him up.
Yep.
But he couldn't even get in a wheelchair anymore. He couldn't move from the bed to a wheelchair.
Yep.
By the end, I mean, he was wearing a diaper. He had a catheter. It was complete. He did not have access to his body anymore. Maybe you're not dying.
Huh?
Maybe you're not dying.
Maybe I'm not.
Yeah, maybe you're not.
Maybe I'm not.
Maybe you're not.
Maybe I'm not. What am I doing?
Do you feel like different than you have felt?
No.
You feel the same? Well, then why do you think you're dying now?
Because everybody's told me I am.
But you don't feel that way.
Well, I don't think so. I don't think so. How do I know? I never died before.
You could rebound.
Unlikely.
Up until truly, I want to say 8 hours before he died, I was telling my mom and the hospice nurse that he was going to be fine. Like, Mike and my mom were like, I'm usually not that person who's like in denial about things. Like I'm facing shit head on, but why
do you think that was? Why do you think? Could you not face it or did you really believe it?
I think it was because I had seen him turn it around so many times. We would joke that he had 25 lives. Like, I was joking with my mom at the very end, like, because that's our language and currency. But the hospice nurse was saying his pulse ox does not match his heartbeat. He's still going. And I was like, in the middle of the night, we were, with the hospice nurse and doing the meds and everything. I was like, man, his pulse is like at the club. I was like, I mean, I had seen him turn it around so many times.
I get it. You hope that your loved one might be turning a corner, that they might be the exception to what you've been told, because you need to believe it to keep going. But in her heart, Steph knew the goodbye was looming and could happen any day, which is why when she was supposed to go on a work trip, she was torn.
He would ask me every day, when are you going? When are you going? And he would get confused about it. And one of the hospice nurses, oh my God, these people are, they're incredible. They're angels. Her name was Remy. She was like, he is not going anywhere. come feel his feet. They are warm. His oxygen level is good. This is great. This is great. All the vitals. I have done this for 35 years. He will be here when you get back. You go and do what you need to do. Godspeed, right?
Yeah.
She gave me a good talking to. And when a wise old woman tells it to me straight, who am I to argue?
And Steph knew that is what her dad wanted too.
If I ever said to him, I'm canceling a work trip because of you, I mean, he would have murdered me himself,
Same.
you know?
Same.
So anyway, I go on the trip, I come back, and I walked into the room, and I will never forget it, and I popped in front of his bed, and he was watching Law & Order. And I said, hi, right? I just smiled and lit up. Hi, Daddy. And he, oh my God, hit Yvette, his face, like a Christmas tree, lit up, ear to ear, smiled. I'm so happy to see you. Like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I just started crying.
Yeah.
That was the end of April, and I swear to you, that was it. The clock started ticking.
After that.
It was like he was waiting for me to get back.
Yeah.
And he slowly, from that point on, the mind started doing those where he stopped knowing who we were. And so I was prepared because I saw him declining so much.
Yeah.
And then towards the end, you get to this place where he wasn't living a life anymore.
That part.
He was stuck in a bed. He couldn't eat, and he loved to eat. He couldn't eat anymore. He couldn't drink anymore. He loved to drink. He couldn't do anything but lay in that bed. In fact, it got so bad at the end where he would just watch the screensaver on the TV. He wouldn't even, it was like the slideshow of like landscapes.
Yeah.
And I would look at him, looking at it, just staring into nothing. And I was like, this has to end. I mean, you get to this point, and that is where you start to go, am I terrible?
Yeah, but I understand it. You're not terrible. I think when they get to that space, and that's kind of where my dad is right now, you're realizing that the spirit is already
gone.
It's already deciding to go to the next plane, the next place that it belongs. You know, we're here for an appointed amount of time. We get to fall in love if we're lucky and make babies and watch those babies make babies. And then the time is up. And I think the spirit gets a little antsy, like, well, I did this.
That's right.
You know, I've done this. My mother said to me long before she was in hospice, and she only lasted in hospice for 18 hours. But she said to me long before she was sick, if I see an exit ramp, I'm taking it. And not from the standpoint I'm taking myself out, but she literally was like, I've been in love. I done had these kids. I've retired from a career. I played all the bingo I'm ever gonna play. She was like, I have done it.
I've done
like
it.
I know what this is. Let's go, chop chop. You know.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's horrible to see them in that state and know who they were.
Yeah.
And know that where they are now is not what they would choose for themselves. While Ellison was in hospice for 3 months, Steph got to say goodbye 1,000 times in so many ways, always with an I love you.
You gonna take a nap? All right, I'm gonna go take a walk and I'll be back later, okay?
Okay.
I'm happy to see you.
Well, nice to see you too.
You're my favorite.
You're my favorite. Yeah.
You're my favorite.
What are you doing? What am I doing?
What are you doing? You're sleeping again.
That's not good.
That's all you do, man. You just sleep and sleep and sleep and sleep. Never seen someone sleep so much. Why are you sleeping so much?
I don't know. I get sleeping sickness.
Sleep sickness? You have a sleep disorder? All right. I'll make you some chili, okay, Dad? Okay. Love you.
I love you too.
Be good. Don't throw a party while I'm gone.
At the very end, Steph and her mom were with Allison, by his side, for 36 hours straight, no breaks. Having Mo by your side, your mom by your side, what was that like for her in those last moments? I can't even imagine. Take your time.
Yeah, I mean,
And if you need a moment, you can take that too. You know that.
we have had such a small family since losing Harris.
Yeah.
And it's just us now, me and my mom. And obviously Mike and...
I know, but I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
The OG Wittels family.
That core family, yeah.
And, it's... The bond I have with my mother is... It's just... I'm very, very grateful for her. And we're very close. And she drives me crazy, but... I felt like it was really... such a benevolent thing to be able to be there with her at the end and for the three of us to be together.
Yeah.
And, she was curled up on the bed with him and just rubbing his head, and he loved her when he's going to scratch my head. And, she was talking to him. I mean, he wasn't responding or anything, but I played all of his favorite country songs and classic country, obviously.
Absolutely.
Don't get it twisted. And we just, we were in that room, like I said, for 36 hours.
Yeah.
There was a recliner that Mom slept in, and there was this little tiny love seat that I slept in. I'm 5 feet tall, so it was fine.
It was fine.
It was fine. But she wouldn't give him the meds, so I had to give him the meds. So I was crushing up the pills and putting them in the morphine and putting them in his mouth. And, it's all like, what in the is happening? Like, I'm giving morphine to Dad, and Dad is dying. And the hospice nurse came in, and she took all his vitals and said, I think he's got a couple of hours left.
Wow.
And I was like, what? Are you sure?
Yeah.
She said, yeah, I think you need to, just prepare yourselves. And I started like crying a lot, because I think that was like the first moment I allowed myself to understand that I just sort of accepted it. And, then my mom and I were kind of waiting, and you're waiting there, and you're waiting for the end.
Yeah.
And, it's this, that's why it feels like, it felt like labor to me, because it's like you're waiting for the thing to happen, but there's so much waiting.
I can say for me, because I was doing it via FaceTime in Ireland. My brother, bless his heart, held the phone up for 18 hours for me to see my mother. And it got to the point where I started counting breaths, because I could tell when she had reached another level of her body shutting down, because her breathing would change. And I would tell him, I'm like, her breathing just changed again. This is, it was literally, I never thought of it as like labor, maybe because I've never birthed a child. But you're right. It felt like labor, watching labor in reverse, like watching the breathing change and
The breathing.
The breathing.
The breathing.
The
Oh
breathing.
my God. No one prepared me for that. The time in between breaths, the gasping for air, all of the sounds of death.
And the waiting continued. The 2 hours that the hospice nurse said stretched and became more and more hours.
Okay, well, now we're at 12, y'all, and he's here still. And then at 13 and 14 and 15 and 16. And then you're like out of your mind because you're waiting for this thing to happen. And the last breath that he took, he gasped. And I said, Mom, we were just, over here like playing whatever, Tetris, on the phones, just trying to distract ourselves. I said, Mom, did you hear that? His breath just changed. And she said, what are you talking about? I said, come here. I, went over there. And he was still. Yeah. And then they take one more breath. Mm-hmm. Like a last gasp.
And that's it.
And that was it. And then he was gone. And the silence.
Yeah, after that, yeah.
Oh my God. It was just silent. I got to be with my father, who was my personal fountain of wisdom.
Yeah.
My safest place. I got to be with him when he took his last breath.
Yeah.
Like, what? He was 82. Yeah. He lived a great life.
Yeah.
I felt like once he passed, it's not like you think this is what should happen because, like you said, I don't want him to not be here with me forever.
Forever.
But it's what's supposed to happen.
Right.
I mean, he died naturally.
Yep.
His body was ready. His body was done.
Yeah.
And I felt like there was this real peace around it that I didn't feel with my brother.
Steph's brother died of an opioid overdose in 2015. Before her dad passed, Steph asked him what happens after death and if he thought he would see Harris, Steph's brother, in the afterlife.
What do you think is coming?
Well, I assume the end is coming.
Well, what happens at the end?
Well, no, I don't think anybody really knows.
You think you'll see Harris? Do you believe in that?
That's a good question. No, I don't think I will.
You don't think there's anything?
No.
You don't think there's afterlife?
No.
Really? You don't think there's any afterlife?
Allison's belief about what happens after you die was different from what Steph's mom believes.
It's interesting because my mom always tells me the only way I'm able to get through anything is that I know I'm going to see Harris again. Mm-hmm. She's certain of it. It's what allows her to wake up every day and put her feet on the floor.
Yeah. And
I have to be honest, I struggle with knowing what's next. I'm a cynic. Mm-hmm. I'm a skeptic.
Yeah.
My dad is too. I mean, we're cut from the same cloth because he was such a man of science and logic. And he wrote medical textbooks, and facts are facts.
Yeah.
I think it was just hard for him to wrap his head around that. And I mean, the fairy tale that he would reunite with him is lovely. I love that story. They're my two favorite guys.
Yeah, honey.
So that would be awesome if they were together.
That image of Ellison and Harris together, it's touching. Sometimes we need to tell ourselves a story or imagine something that might be impossible to keep the grief at bay. For a long time, Steph carried the weight of caregiving for her dad. Now, that weight is gone. In ending, I just remember in season 1, you described yourself as being in quicksand.
Oh.
Remember that? Do you remember that? What's the metaphor now? Do you have one? What is the comparison?
Oh, God.
And is it still quicksand, or have you found a way to climb out of it?
I feel so wild to say this, but no, I'm not. I don't feel like I'm in quicksand anymore.
That's good.
And there's a relief to not be in quicksand anymore.
There is.
It's not comfortable.
And
you can't breathe.
And it's okay to say that. You know what I mean? I think this is the crazy thing about being a caregiver. There's guilt in every aspect when they're here.
Yeah.
And then there's guilt in just about every aspect once they're gone, because you get to the point where you feel like the gratitude or the joy that you feel, or the relief. If we're honest, there's a bit of relief, because being a caregiver in all the ways, as a parent, as a child caring for a parent, whatever it is, it's hard.
So hard.
It takes a lot out of you. And especially for people like you who have been squeezed in between caring for a parent and also raising babies, it is all encompassing. And a business. You got a business too. And you're still a wife, and you got the dog. There's a lot to it. And so
2 dogs.
2 dogs. So you feel bad.
Yeah.
When you have a bit of relief in one area of that.
Yeah.
I hope that listening to me and Steph talk will help those of you at home release that guilt. Because again, going back to just speaking of my father and my mother, if they were in their right minds, or when they were in their right minds, they would say to me, "Baby girl, fly."
I know.
Like, get out and experience everything.
I know. And I you know what, honestly, Yvette, what's so wild is when you said, "Is there an image now?" Like, the first thing I thought of was like flying. I was like, I feel, I don't know. Quicksand is like you're getting sucked into
down,
the earth, right? And I feel this like I can go where I need to go. I can, my best friend who just lost her dad, it was the same. We talked about it. Like, there's this relief of like, they are at peace now.
Yeah, they're okay.
And they're okay, and you're okay, and we're all going to move forward. And we got to love them, and let's take the kids to school.
For Steph, there's comfort and a sense of peace in the day-to-day life with her kids and her husband. They joined her on many visits to see Grandpa, trips that were bittersweet, but that she holds in her heart still. The kids would make jokes, and Ellison would look at them, unamused, but delighted at the same time.
Okay, I'll do something.
Okay.
Why did the cat not want to play volleyball?
Why did the cat not want to play volleyball?
Because it had a hairball.
No? Alright.
Top ground.
Yeah,
Top
that's, I'm part of
You
that
want to
too,
hear one
Fran.
about a kindergartner falling? This is a true story. This happened today to me. I was doing this thing at my school, and this kindergartner...
Squeezed is a Lemonada Media original. I'm your host, Yvette Nicole Brown. Lisa Fu and Hannah Boomershine are our producers. Muna Danish is our senior producer. Bobby Woody is our engineer. Our theme music is by Andy Christenstadter, with additional music by APM Music. Jackie Danziger is our VP of Narrative Content. Executive producers are me, Yvette Nicole Brown, Jessica Cordova-Kramer, and Stephanie Wittels Wachs. This show was created in partnership with the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, a leading national philanthropy dedicated to taking bold leaps to transform health in our lifetime and pave the way together to a future where health is no longer a privilege, but a right. Follow Squeezed wherever you get your podcasts, or listen ad-free on Amazon Music with your Prime membership.